Aloha! We're in Kanab, Utah this week. Greetings, y'all. So here we are in Utah, Kanab, Utah, and today we're doing another dip into Goodwill pickups that I found. This time not from Utah, but from New Mexico, a town called Bernalillo. It's right outside of Albuquerque. I stopped in there, I think like the last day that we were in New Mexico, like the next day we were leaving to come here to Kanab, and I stopped in this one Goodwill that I saw there and picked up a couple of things. So without further ado, let's take a look at what I picked up. From 2004, we have Wilco and A Ghost is Born in this nice little slipcase. You see there's an egg there on the cover, and then when you take it out of the slip cover, it's a cracked egg. How about that? I think I had like one or two songs by Wilco that I thought were all right, but I never dove into their catalog or anything like that. Until recently, I was at another Goodwill in New Mexico, and I picked up a CD by Wilco and Billy Bragg called Mermaid Avenue, which I really, really enjoyed. So when I saw this here in this Goodwill, I was like, well, let me take another crack at Wilco, see what else we got here. And I like it. I think it's a really good album. There's two tracks on here that are like over 10 minutes, and one of them, like half of it was just like noise. I think that one was Less Than You Think. There's another one called Spiders, which that one I actually liked. That one was like, I don't know, a little over 10 minutes. But you know, got all the lyrics and everything in here in the booklet. I don't know if there's any kind of theme to this record. It almost feels like there would be, but I'm not sure that there is. Some kind of cool artwork. But I really enjoyed this one too. You know, it's making me think maybe I should dig a little bit more into Wilco. By all means, if you have any suggestions for good Wilco albums, I would love to hear it. Some of the tracks on here that I liked were The Late Greats, Theologians, Company in My Back, Wishful Thinking, Handshake Drugs, and Spiders. Like I mentioned, Spiders is another one of those long tracks that I really like. But you know, really good record. I really liked it. I'm sort of becoming a fan of Wilco. How about that? 1999, we get Sting, Brand New Day. I'm sure a bunch of you are familiar with this CD. I love The Police. You know, I think they're an awesome band. I have all their stuff, vinyl, CD. Great band. I wasn't like devastated when they split up, but it would have been nice to hear some more stuff by those guys. When they split up is like right when I really got into the band. And I liked Sting's first two solo records, Dream of the Blue Turtles and Nothing Like the Sun. And he put out a live album in between that I thought was really good as well. But after that, I kind of sort of started to lose interest in that kind of adult contemporary jazz music that he was doing. It was just kind of losing its thing for me, you know, and this is a lot in lines with that, you know, and I wasn't really crazy about it. I mean, there's two songs on here that I remember being very popular when this came out, and those were like the only two songs that I really liked. Brand New Day, the title track, and Desert Rose was pretty good. But really, Brand New Day is the one standout track. And the other stuff, I mean, it falls right in line with the stuff from his first two solo albums, and maybe a little bit after that, just that kind of like sort of jazz, adult contemporary pop kind of stuff. But I don't know, the songs just aren't as strong, I guess, at this point, you know, in my opinion. You know, I just didn't really find them all that catchy or all that interesting. Nothing really that I was like dying to go back to listen to or anything. But you know, so you know, it was just a curiosity. I wasn't super familiar with his solo work after probably that 10 Sumner's Tales album, and so I was just kind of curious if there was some other stuff on here that maybe, you know, I missed out on. Maybe there was some stuff that was pretty good, but again, I just was pretty disappointed with this one. Just really, it was kind of what I expected. I expected it to be kind of a little, you know, dull, for lack of a better term. 2003, we get Rooney and their self-titled CD, Rooney. which I don't know, I guess this is their debut, I'm not sure. And I mean, I was familiar with Rooney, that this band existed, but I don't know that I was really familiar with any of their music. I think there was like one song I remember a handful of years ago getting a lot of, like the video getting a lot of airplay on MTV or VH1 when they were playing videos a bit more. So when I saw this there, I figured, let me give them a try. You know, I've kind of been meaning to all these years and just put it off, and this is like maybe the first time I've ever seen one of their CDs in like a Goodwill or anything like that. So I figured that's cheap enough. This is the perfect opportunity to give them a try. And at first I'm listening to the CD, and it's, you know, it's like that kind of alternative rock, generic kind of alternative rock of like the early 2000s. And nothing was really standing out to me. I wasn't that impressed. And then it started to kind of catch my ear. I started to, you know, find it a little more enjoyable. Some of the tracks on here that I ended up liking were Simply Because, Sorry Sorry, I'm Shaken, and If It Were Up to Me, which I think that was the standout track for me. That was the one I liked a lot. And of course, you know, like early 2000s, this one is an enhanced CD, so I don't know what's on this, or even if it'll even still, whatever video and stuff is on here, I don't even know if it'll still play, but I'll have to take a look at that. There's been a couple of those I've kind of come across lately that I'd never bothered looking at the enhanced stuff on the CD, and I gotta, you know, check it out. But usually it's just music videos and stuff like that, but it'd be cool to check out. But I ended up kind of liking this. At first it seemed pretty bland and generic, and you know, ended up kind of thinking it wasn't too bad. 1990, we get the Lemonheads and their album Lovey. And, you know, the Lemonheads were pretty popular on like alternative college rock radio in the early 90s. I think their CD Come On Feel the Lemonheads. And then they had like, you know, kind of a minor hit with the cover of Mrs. Robinson by the Simon and Garfunkel. I don't even know, by the Simon and Garfunkel. What's wrong with me? Anyways, it's the high altitude now. But anyways, you know, so I was familiar with them. I had that one other CD. They're pretty good. You know, I saw this there. I don't recall ever really seeing a Lemonhead CD in a Goodwill. Not much in the booklet there. So I grabbed it. I don't think I knew any of the songs that were on here, and not too crazy about this one. Nothing really stood out on the tracks on this album. You know, there was one song on here, Brass Buttons, that one I liked, but nothing else really caught my ear. You know, it definitely a case of I'm gonna need another like 2 or 3 listens of this before I can really make the call whether this was a, you know, a good purchase or not, you know. But you know, we'll see. But that is it for Goodwill this time, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my hike out here, and I hope you enjoyed watching. And by all means, please let me know about these CDs, tracks that you like, or maybe other albums by certainly Wilco or Rooney that maybe I should check out. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.